Good morning, boys and girls. Our writing this week is going to be learning about poetry. And boys and girls, poetry is a type of writing, just like fiction and nonfiction. It's a way to have the writer talk about things that are important to them. Like poets write about special things like places they love, people they love, maybe a special time in their lives. And boys and girls, poems can rhyme. We know a lot of rhyming poems, but poems also do not have to rhyme. So today we're going to brainstorm some things that we can actually write about in poem form. Okay, so we're going to be doing this the rest of the week and into some of next week. So if you have a folder, I kind of have this just yellow folder laying around, and I'm going to keep some of the poems that I write in this yellow folder. If you have one of these, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Before we start, I would like you to get a piece of paper and something to write with. So I'll give you a minute to do that, and then we're going to get started. Okay, so before we start talking about things that we can write about, I want to read you a couple of poems. I also read in our read alouds today a poem book, so I hope you can listen to that too. So the first one I'm going to read is over here, and this is At the Bus Stop. Well, all of us know what a bus stop is. It's where we wait for the bus. Some of us get to wait at a bus stop when we go to school. And so maybe you can kind of relate to this poem. At the bus stop. Jennifer jumps rope, Tanya texts. Tony twirls like a ballerina. Haley hums, William whistles, Chloe catches up on reading. Luke listens to tunes, Miles munches, Peyton plays I Spy, Jackson jokes, Logan laughs. Sean shows Cheyenne the green, scaly, slimy bug he found in his bed this morning. Well, if you notice, that poem doesn't really rhyme, but it's talking about a special place, the bus stop. Okay, so let's go over to this next poem. This poem is called Yellow. Butterscotch and bumblebees, ears of corn and mac and cheese, pet canaries, dandelions, those silly shoes of Uncle Brian's, scrambled eggs and globs of mustard, caution signs, banana custard, smiley faces, butterflies, rubber chickens, lemon pies, an ancient book that you might read, the snow right where a dog just peed, a daffodil, the stars and sun. Oops, my cab's here, gotta run. So that poet was talking about the color yellow. And maybe you have a favorite color or something special that you want to write about. So this poem was talking about a bus stop, a place, and this was talking about a color. Poems can be about anything that you can think about. Let's see. We'll do one more. Oh my gosh, look at this picture. This is called The Joy of Discovery. Each week I'm asked to clean my room, but what I do instead is simply take the whole week's mess to stash beneath my bed. Then came the day I didn't have a single thing to wear or read or dry myself with, so I took a look down there. I found 2 books, 3 towels, some long thought lost remotes, cereal and sunscreen, and 2 fall and winter coats, pizza crust, some pants and shirts, some shorts and underpants, socks and shoes, a sticky, swirly sucker, and some ants. Now, I hope when you clean your room, you're not shoving everything under the bed. So that's a silly, kind of funny poem that talks about, somebody who's supposed to be cleaning, but what are they doing instead? Yes, putting everything under their bed. So, boys and girls, so you can see, poems can be fun. Some poems are serious. So, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you over here on my chart that I wrote. Okay. And hopefully you can see it. Maybe I need to there's a little bit of a glare. I hope that's not showing on yours. Okay. But on the top of your paper, so now you get your pencil or whatever you have to write with. I want you to write this topic across the top. People, that's one of our trick words this week. Places and things that are important to me. Okay, so I want you to write that across your paper. And maybe if I don't know if that's better. Well, that kind of looks better maybe. So go ahead and copy that. And of course, our neatest handwriting. Okay, and again, people, places, and things that are important to me. Okay, go ahead and write that. Okay, and if Mrs. Holman's going too fast again, you can pause me. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to draw a chart. Okay, so let's go ahead, and if you're finished with your sentence, or when you're finished, I want you to draw a big square. Notice how Mrs. Holman took up most of my chart. So a big square. Okay? And then we're going to divide this into boxes. And Mrs. Holman's going to show you an easy way to do that. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to cut this, we're going to pretend it's kind of a brownie. And we're going to make some brownie cuts. Okay? I'm going to draw 2 lines. So right now I have 3 sections of brownies. Okay? And you can have an adult or an older brother and sister help you too if this is difficult. And then I'm going to draw a line up there. And remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. If you'd like it to be perfect, you could always take out your ruler if you have a ruler. Okay? So again, if you need to pause and go ahead and write this, that's okay. So once you get your sentence, people, places, and things that are important to me, in each box, I want you to write something that's important to you. So maybe you love a special toy. Maybe you have a special family member. Maybe it's your whole family. Maybe you have a favorite food. So I want you to think of people maybe that are important to you first. So I'm going to put my family in the first box. And remember, boys and girls, you can write your own. If some of yours are the same as mine, that's fine too. You can always write, if your family's important to you, you can copy that. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to now put so I've got my family. I'm going to put my students. So you are people that are important to me. So I'm going to write my students. Now you probably will come up with something different there because you don't have students yet. Maybe it's a grandma or grandpa or older brother and sister that's important to you too. And then I'm also going to add my dog. And remember, my dog's name is Milo. So maybe you have a special pet that's important to you. Okay. So now let's think about places that might be important to you. Mrs. Holman grew up in northern New York, and there my grandparents had a little cabin on the lake, and that place was called Trout Lake. So that's an important place for me. So I'm going to write Trout Lake there. Maybe you have a special vacation place that you visit. Maybe that's something you could do, or your home. So Mrs. Holman's going to write Trout Lake because that's a special place for me. And I'm also going to put home because my home is a special place too. It's where my family is. Okay. All right. So now you can think of maybe another place, or maybe you can start to think of some things that are important to you. Or some things you like. Now, I love the color yellow. So I'm going to put yellow. I know that poem was about yellow things. Maybe you have a favorite color you could add. Yep. Okay. Great. And any other important things to you? Maybe you play a sport. Maybe that's really important to you. Maybe you have a special book you love. Maybe you love to read. I love to read, so I'm going to go ahead and put down books. Mrs. Holman loves books. Those are important to me. Maybe there's a special food. Actually, let me see. Let me think of a special food that I like. Oh, Mrs. Holman likes so many different kinds of food. It's hard to pick. You know what I love? I think I love cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and write cheese down. I like regular cheese. I like macaroni and cheese. I like pizza with cheese. All right. Any other special foods that you like? All right. And one more thing. Let's see, that's important. You know what I love is a blanket. I know that sounds really funny, but Mrs. Holman, especially when I'm cold and maybe I'm watching a movie or something, I love a blanket on my lap. So I'm going to put that. Maybe you have a special TV show that you like. All right, so go ahead and finish up your chart. Okay. And boys and girls, tomorrow we are going to take some of these things that are important to us and we're going to start writing our poems. So I hope you enjoyed listening to some poems today and brainstorming some things that you can write about because we're going to be writing about all different kinds of things coming up. So I hope you're excited because I love poetry. And remember, boys and girls, when we're writing a poem, it can rhyme. It doesn't have to rhyme. It's something that's important and special to you. So once you get your paper done, and if you found a special folder or somewhere to keep your work, That's great. You can also write on there poetry folder if you would like. Okay, so I hope you have a great day.